Ron Goodall over here from FightHype.com. I'm here with Tom Loeffler. I'm trying to figure out if you're the boxer you've been signing with the autographs.
Look, Triple G fans are very loyal. They like autographs and photographs. A lot of them came over from Kazakhstan. A lot of them stayed over from the Joshua fight. You know, having 2 fights in Madison Square Garden back to back like that with 2 superstars, with Anthony Joshua, Triple G. It's a huge statement for the Garden. It's a huge statement for DAZN. We saw what happened with AJ, a huge upset, and Triple G has to make sure the same thing doesn't happen. He's fighting undefeated Steve Rolls, who's very hungry, wants to jump up to the top of the middleweight division. He had no hesitation signing this contract at all. And Triple G knows if he's not 100%, if he doesn't win this fight, then all these fights about bigger fights, you know, trilogy with Canelo and all the other fights that people are talking about, that's out the window. So he's got to win on Saturday, and we want all the fans to come down and watch the fights.
I wanted to get your immediate overall reaction to that Andy Ruiz fight that just happened with Anthony and Joshua. And when that happened here on the G, what was your thoughts overall?
It was a shock. It was a shock, but you got to give Andy Ruiz a lot of credit. Not only the first Mexican or Mexican-American heavyweight champion, it's unified heavyweight champion, and Andy stood in there toe-to-toe. He wasn't afraid. He got knocked down, he got up, and then he knocked down Anthony Joshua. I mean, that's not an easy task to stand toe-to-toe, to not back up, and Andy Ruiz wasn't afraid at all. You got to give him a lot of credit. He did an amazing thing last Saturday night, and I think you know, he's gotten such a huge reception from his Mexican fans that really all the fans, but you know, just such a, which I said, a lot of people underestimated him when they saw his physique, but they don't know his heart, his fighting spirit, and he showed it on Saturday night.
You say that's one of the biggest upsets in recent times?
I think so. I think so. But look, Buster Douglas was in great shape when he fought Mike Tyson, and I would put this right up there because Joshua looked unbeatable. His physique, the way he was knocking guys out, the way he got up from Vladimir Klitschko. But Andy Ruiz did it. You know, he stood there and he gave more than he got, and he was able to take Joshua's punches better.
Now with Madison Square Garden, having that magical moment coming back for Saturday,
yeah.
I noticed in the media workout, Gennadiy was moving a little bit more, showing a little more upper body.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you can definitely, I'm telling you, you can definitely see an influence on Jonathan Banks's training strategy. You see more movement, maybe a little bit different combinations. But look, it's still the same Triple G. You can sharpen a few corners and change the strategy a little bit, but he's a dominant fighter. He's got so many knockouts, big punching power. Abel Sanchez did a tremendous job with him, and now the pressure is on Jonathan Banks to show that he can take him to a different level. And there's always room for improvement for everyone. And I think that's what the fans are really looking forward to see. That's what we're looking forward to see. I saw him in sparring. I saw him in training camp. He looks fantastic. But until he actually gets in the ring on Saturday night, on DAZN, here live from Madison Square Garden, that's when is going to be the true test, how he looks against Steve Rolls on June 8th.
In this particular camp, does Gennadiy open up and became a little bit more happy in his fight?
He's always smiling, yeah. So he's happy, and I mean, he's just really just happy to get back in the ring. He was very frustrated with the decision with Canelo. He knows he didn't lose that fight. You know, we know he didn't lose that fight, so, you know, instead of dwelling on that, he's moving forward. He signed his deal with DAZN, and he's looking forward to Steve Rolls.
Obviously, probably been some hard all day about Canelo stuff, so I don't want to stick on it too much, but the idea is that after this fight, you guys are equal looking into another fight with Canelo.
Look, there's no Canelo talk if he doesn't win on Saturday night. So Canelo did his job beating Danny Jacobs. Triple G has to do his job, beat Steve Rolls, and then we can talk about a third Canelo fight. That's still one of the biggest fights in boxing. It might be the biggest fight that can actually be made. The heavyweights can't seem to get a unification fight together. So Canelo and Triple G fight each other twice. You got to give them both credit for that. And if we can do a third time, I think that's what the fans want to see. But all that won't happen unless Triple G wins on Saturday.
And I'm sure there's other guys on the hit list, fighting out in Rhode Island. Gennadiy's been making appearances many of these zone events.
Yeah.
Is that something that maybe in the future Gennadiy, if he gets past D-Rose, might pull up at that event too and kind of peep his head in? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, strategically, he came to the Joshua fight. Naturally, he's fighting here at Madison Square Garden, so that made sense. He went to the Canelo fight because hopefully we can get a Canelo third fight, or at least put it together. So, you know, Gennadiy's a boxing fan. He likes watching boxing. A lot of boxers don't actually come to different events, but he'll support the guys. And the main thing is for the fans to come out and watch Triple G and see how he looks on this Saturday night.
Now I want to come back and give you credit for the super fly cards that you've been putting on. The scene back then, a lot of people wasn't really interested in the small class, you know.
Yeah,
now
we brought a spotlight to the lighter divisions, the flyweights and super flyweights.
Estrada, Rumba, Chocolatito, and New Way.
In a way, was on Superfly 1. Quadras has been on a lot of shows. Arroyo's been on shows. Ioka was on the shows. Palicte. So you know, we've had our share of great names on those shows.
With you know, a New Way and Nonito the Bear coming up. How do you
That's a great fight. That's a great fight. Nonito's really proven that 118 pounds is his right division. The way he's looked, you know, he was a big underdog going into that tournament, and he's won twice. Now he's in the finals. So, you know, fighting the monster. I put Inoue towards the top of the pound for pound list. You got to be impressed the way he's taken out these guys. I mean, that really reminds me of Triple G, guys that have never been stopped before, and Inoue's taking them out. That's what Triple G used to do, guys that hadn't been stopped before. And you got to be excited for that final match with Inoue and Nonito.
Well, look, I appreciate the time, Tom. I'm excited to see Gennadiy return with Nathan and Steve Rose and the rest of the undercard. So, it's covering all the week.
It's good to see you.
It's a pleasure.